Is buying gold worth it? Yeah, it is. How about collectible gold, though? Fun gold. Is that worth it? Does it make sense to buy it? Yeah, it still does. But these are short answers only. If we want the full answer, we need a little more time. So this past week, we got a clear reminder of how gold operates as a safe haven. Something crazy happens in the world, or just escalates, and capital floods into the gold market, price goes up. It's a good trick and something that makes having a little bit of gold feel like having insurance, but if you're buying for that reason, insurance against some kind of outside chaos, you should probably be buying certain things. These buffaloes, they'd be a good choice. American Gold Eagles, Maple Leafs, Krugs, Philharmonics, Britannias, Kangaroos, even well-known gold bars would be a good choice. There's a varying degree there, but all of those would be easy to sell because those are the things most people want. And if you want a hedge that you could quickly liquidate, well, you buy the thing you can quickly liquidate. So what's all this other stuff? So let's start with the 2025 gold lunar snake. They're out from the Perth Mint, and I've been meaning to get it on the desk. This is the 6th in a series of 12, and it's a great coin and a great series. But there really isn't a lot to cover here except the face on the obverse. King Charles is now in the coins, no surprise, but beyond that, this is just a really nice coin from a mint that makes really nice coins. And the reason I've waited until now to show this is just that the last few weeks have given us plenty to talk about without getting into semi-numismatic gold. But now that the election is over, gold is going back to the path that it was on before, up and to the right. I thought we could fix that. Show the snake, talk a little bit about the gold coins that I didn't mention in that quick list of things that you might buy if you want to be able to quickly sell. Now let's just start this out saying that I could quickly sell any coin here. I could sell them on eBay, I could sell them to an online dealer, and because of this channel, I could probably just mention that I'm selling them and find a buyer in the pool of people watching this video. But in most cases, I would be selling them one at a time. A worst case scenario, I take them to a local dealer. I sell them for whatever they're willing to pay at the time. I did talk to a few dealers just to figure out what that might be, and I will say that that changes from time to time. I talk to these dealers quite a bit, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. Quick shout out to channel sponsor Summit Metals. They've got great prices and fast shipping. I think you know that. That includes things like the lunar snake and these buffaloes I'm showing, but they've got really great prices on American Gold Eagles of any size and these 10th ounce Britannias. So if you're looking for gold and silver, be sure to check them out. SummitMetals.com. So before we come back to local dealers and how much or how little they like novelty gold, let me just tell you a little bit about what's in the tray here. So these are all from the Perth Mint. Half are 1 ounce BU gold coins from the Lunar series, half are 1 ounce BU gold coins from the Chinese Myths and Legends series. And then a few are 1 ounce ultra high relief proof coins, also from the Perth Mint, and these just happen to be in the Lunar series as well. Now, these have extremely limited mintage. There are only 188 of these dragons in existence. That's assuming none got lost in a dumpster. So this coin would be a rare collectible, something that you might buy to flip for profit, but almost definitely not something you could get the profit from in a sale to a local dealer. I would say these are special, and I hope my camera's autofocus is keeping up with my shaking hand here. Now, I might think the rest of these coins are special as well, but most of them realistically are more about general interest than they are about collector value. Now, there's no doubt that somebody out there is missing the mouse in their series and they're going to pay more to get a hold of it. But on its own, it's not really a standout coin. Now, something that might seem crazy to some and not crazy at all to others is the idea that buying the same gold coins can get a little bit boring. If you're only buying for what you can quickly sell, well, that's not quite as fun. I like certain series coins, partly because I like the designs and partly because it just keeps me buying. If a new release comes out, I have to get it to complete the series. Now, this is a coin that I wasn't collecting, and it's not my most valuable coin if I was going to sell it, but it is my favorite coin, one that I will never sell. Now, there's a story behind it. That's another aspect to buying gold. Some of it has sentimental value. This coin was given to me, and I was with family in the hospital. It was a horrible time, and this showed up at one of my shops when I was away. Long story short, it was thrown away. Now, that's a whole story on its own, but as you can see, I found it. Literally crawled through a bank of dumpsters to get it. They were filled with garbage. It was gross. I'm not an emotional guy, but that was a pretty big deal. That's something that I'll never forget. Now, does a dealer care about my personal story related to that rooster? No. I spoke with two of them about all three types of coins here, the Chinese myths and legends coins, the BU lunars, and the high relief proofs. Now, one of the dealers is in a mid-sized market. You should know that. One is in a large market. They're in LA County. Both told me to bring the coins in so they could see them. I didn't want to do that, so I pushed them a little bit, and they told me they would pay spot, maybe a little bit more. Now, I know both dealers. They know me. They know my coins are going to be in good shape, but what they said is that maybe they'll give more for series coins that are currently running, but past series like the Chinese myths and legends are probably only worth the gold content to them. Now, we know there are exceptions, and there are lots of ways to sell. You don't have to sell to a local dealer, and in a lot of these cases, I wouldn't. You could take eBay, for instance. I could sell that high relief dragon for a lot. Now, this 2021 high relief American Liberty gold coin, it's another really good example. AppMex is currently selling it for $8,995 ungraded. eBay is selling them for about the same, depends on which one you get. Now, this one was obviously a hit. Others in the same series, American Liberty gold coins, weren't. So I don't want to give the impression that buying collector coins will never be worth it. Coin, it's a pretty good example of that. It cost me $2,715 in 2021, and I bought this Buffalo right around the same time. The Buffalo has gone up a spot price, and it's now worth probably about 32% more, but that Mustang is now worth 3 times what I paid. So there's no question you can make it work, but it's a totally different strategy, one that requires picking the right coin, so you have to pick the winner, and also selling it at the right time. Now, back to my conversations with local shops. I asked what they'd pay for a tube of Eagles, and both said 1% ahead of spot. I asked about the snake. Both said probably spot. The Tiger in this series, because it was a few years ago, a little bit more, and then the high relief coins, well, it depended on the shop. One said the same as the BU. One said probably a little bit more. Now, it doesn't matter because I wouldn't be selling these to a local shop if I had any other option, but it is nice to know that that emergency sale option is at least there. Now, the collector coins, they're a little bit different. Both said they'd give me more for the Mustang. I, of course, said, sure you would. That one, it's a clear winner that a lot of people know about. Now, further down the rabbit hole of collectible gold coins, you have things like this. This is a Marcus Aurelius gold aureus. It was minted nearly 2,000 years ago. So there's that. Anyone interested in Marcus Aurelius or Stoicism or the Roman Empire might have particular interest in this particular coin, but your population of buyers is going to be far smaller. And it does not include any of my local dealers. This coin has just under 7 grams of pure gold. In my local coin shops, would probably quote a price related only to that size. Well, it's probably not true, but I only know a few coin dealers who actually deal in ancient coins. So that's the kind of coin that'd be very hard to sell, quite honestly. It's worth $5,000 to $6,000 on a bad day, but finding that buyer, if I wanted to sell it, would definitely take some time. So my advice here is to know your exit plan. If you don't want to worry about it, buy gold buffaloes, buy Eagles or Maples or Krugs or Britannias. Any dealer I've talked to would be willing to buy all 20 of these buffaloes in a single transaction, but any but the largest would haggle on the lunars. Now, I have a really good relationship with a few, and not because of this channel, and they would give me spot, maybe better, but a shop that I don't have a relationship with, it's going to be hit or miss. What I know for sure is I won't get collector value if I take it to a local dealer. I'll have to sell it on eBay or something else, and that's a little bit of a problem. Now, the past series coins, they're even worse because they lose broad value as people lose active interest, meaning if there aren't new coins coming out in the series, fewer people know about them. These Chinese myths and legends coins in the back here, there's some of my absolute favorite coins. Favorite designs, by the way. That's of anything that I've ever seen, but it takes somebody who's really into gold to even know about them. Now, I've been accused of being a fun hater before. Stop hating on the Homer Simpson coin or the Scrooge McDuck coin. I've even been told by commenters that gold is gold. It doesn't matter what you buy. Now, this is really a matter of scale. If you want to be able to sell more than one coin at a time, it does matter. These small considerations become bigger. That's why I focus on Eagles and Buffaloes and Maples. So the question I'm posing here, or maybe I'm answering, I guess, is whether it makes sense to buy collectible gold in the first place. As you can see here on the desk, obviously I do it. Now, maybe it doesn't make sense to buy these as a hedge against something like World War III because there are additional selling considerations that would slow me down in a sale. But the gold content here alone is doing well enough that if I had to, I could figure it out. This all kind of falls into the I'll figure it out if I need to category. Now, gold is up 32% this year, so even without any added value that I might hope comes from dragons or tigers looking cool, the metal is still doing its job as a hedge or even just as a savings tool. So yeah, knock yourself out if you'll only ever sell one gold coin at a time. Buy the most popular options if you won't. And if you're feeling bad because maybe you missed the flowing hair gold coin from the US Mint, well, just remember, you still have to sell that coin to lock in any of those possible profits. That gold Mustang I showed earlier might be listing for $9,000, but if I don't actually sell mine, it's worth the same as any other ounce of gold. It's just something to keep in mind. I think we can call it good there. So let us know what you're up to, what you like to buy, and how I'm wrong maybe on the Homer Simpson coin. More important than that, though, let us know if you've thought at all about how you would sell if you ever needed to. Let us know. And then while you're in the comments, be sure to hit that like button if you found any of this interesting. Be sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on if you want to hear more on the topic. And if you're still here, thanks again for watching. I always appreciate your time. Take care.